Welcome back. So this is the chapter that we're going to skip, yeah? Curvilinear motion, cylindrical component, yeah? You can just do self-study on this. Okay, so I'm going to skip all this and go right into absolute dependent motion analysis of two particles, which is 12.9, yeah? 12.9 from the textbook, page 85, yeah? So at the end of this chapter, student will be able to relate positions, velocity and acceleration of particles undergoing dependent motion. So here it's like creating a equation, an additional equation to actually solve, to make our life easy to solve the questions, yeah? So application is mostly on pulleys and on like okay, if let's say one object, example, if this object move here, what happens to this? Yeah, so it's like correlated, yeah, like this. This is the topic of absolute dependent motion analysis of two particles, yeah? So let me just go into the lecture, yeah? So if you look at these, yeah, I just show in my example, I think better. Okay, look at this. Box B is going to move based on box A, correct? If box A is being pushed up, then box B is going to be pushed down. So this is what I'm trying to say, absolute dependent motion analysis. So means this box B is depending on box A. Likewise, if let's say box A move here, then box B is going to move up here. Correct or not? Okay. Now let's look at this carefully, yeah? The total length is SA plus SB plus CD. Correct? CD is a constant value. It means this whole length of this cable is actually SA plus CD plus SB. Okay, total length is not going to change. If let's say it's 10 meters, then it's 10 meters forever. Okay, but this SA length can be shorter or longer. If this SA becomes longer, then SB becomes shorter. Correct or not? So if let's say SA move this side, object A move this side, so SA is going to be longer. So when SA becomes longer, SB is become shorter. So that is the this topic is about. So let's look at this. Okay. So total length is SA plus LCD plus SB. This is constant. This is constant. Remember what I told you just now? You can differentiate this. When you differentiate this, constant is 0. So we have VA plus VB plus 0 plus, yeah, VA plus 0. This becomes 0. VB, when you differentiate on VB plus this becomes 0, equals to 0. So at the end of the day, it will become VB equals to negative VA. Okay. So another example. Look at this. This one you must set the datum. You must set the datum. It's important to set the datum. Yeah. Okay. Look at this. So this is your datum. Datum means anything above that we don't consider. It's actually mostly constant. Yeah, constant. So this is block B. If you see, this whole thing is actually one rope. Whole thing is actually one rope. Just one rope. Correct or not? Okay. So let's look at that. So where's your reference? Your reference is this. Okay, look at this rope. Distance here to here, this rate distance is constant. Up here so constant, here so constant. Here also be constant. Okay. So if you look at this block, if this block moves here, what happens? Automatically B is going to move up, right? So which means SB plus with SB plus with H plus with SA is the total length of the cable. Can you see? SB to SB plus H plus SA equals to total length. Now this is constant, so when you differentiate that, what will become? It become 2VB equals to negative VA. Differentiate again, you get 2AB equals to negative A. Now, why do we need to do this? So from this example, if you see here, from this example, what do you understand? It means if let's say the acceleration of B is 4, if let's say acceleration B is 4, so what is the acceleration of A? It will be negative 8. You get it or not? How is the correlation? So if let's say velocity B is 2, so 2 times 2, velocity of A will be negative 4A. -4 meter per second. So this is what, like, you're creating additional equations. Yeah, additional equations to help you to solve the question. Okay, so let's move on to example 12.1. Now let's look at this example. This this pulley system is getting a bit more complicated. Now this example is from your textbook. Okay, example 12.21 from your textbook, page 87. Okay, so we have A, we have B. So if B moves up, A will move down. Okay, so this is your reference point data. So what's the question is asking? Determine the speed of A if B has upward 6. So B is moving upward 6. Okay, so let's look at that. So we have SA plus with SB plus with SB plus with SB. So we have 3SB, and then we have SA1 equal to total length. Okay, differentiate once. Differentiate, you get VA plus 3VB equals to 0. So what did the question say? They want the velocity of A if velocity B is 6. So if velocity B is 6, okay, look at this. If velocity B is 6, so you plug in 6 here. What is A? A will be 18. Okay, so that is your chapter of 12.9. Okay, next I'm going to move on to chapter 12.10 from your textbook, page 91. Yeah, okay, it's done. All this is done. I always don't discuss the example on the lecture. Yeah, the one you can just lecture note, the one you can just read by yourself. Okay, so I've arrived to 12.10, which is relative motion of two particles using translating axes. Yeah, this is the last part of chapter 12 itself. Okay, look at this. So we have fixed observer. Let's example you are standing at reference point 0, 0, 0. So now there are two objects that's moving. Yeah, there's two objects that's moving. This man and this particle. Okay, so you are at O. You are stay put at O. So what you can see, from you to that guy is RA. And from you to this particle, the ball, is RB. So you want to get a connection between this person and this object. So that's how you form this equation. Okay, look at this carefully. Yeah, so we have RA, RB. Okay, you want to form it like a vector diagram. It's something like this, right? Okay, we have RB here, which is pointing here, and RA, because its reference is A, right? Yeah, pointing. RA is here. This is object B. And then this is U at 0, and this is A. So U to A is RA, U to B is RB. Okay, so how do you get connected? Yeah. So if you see here, use another pen. If RA plus with this will equal to RB, right? Isn't it? It's a vector triangle, right? So that's the reason why, see, RB equals to RA plus this line. Now what do you call this line? It's between A and B. What do I write? Yeah, so this is what you have to write. From B to A. Because the arrow is actually pointing towards B, so it starts with B with reference to A. Okay, so how if A stroke B, then the arrow would be the other way around, like this. Okay, so it will be like this, pointing like this. So if RB stroke A, the arrow will be pointing towards B from A. This will be towards A from B. Okay, you remember that, huh? Okay, so of course this line to this line differentiate, this line to this line is differentiate. So that's about this. So let's go into example 12.25. Okay, let's look at example 12.25. So a train travels at a constant speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So we have train 60 kilometers per hour crosses the road, as shown in figure 12-43. If the automobile A travels at 45 along the road, determine the magnitude and direction of the velocity of the train relative to the automobile. So they want T stroke A. Okay, so if you look here, the train is actually moving in a straight line. That's the train, right? And then we have automobile moving in this direction, which is A. Yeah, so this is VT, this is VA. So T stroke A T stroke A will be to like this. T stroke A. Okay. So what we have here is that the angle here is 45. So the angle here will be 45 as well. Yeah. So see here, VTA equals to VA, VTA. So VT is a resultant. So VA plus VTA will be VT. Okay. So this is done. So this is 60 cos I, because it's in I direction, is in X direction. So this one angle is at 45, right? So we can break it up into X axis and also Y axis. So that's the reason why we have 45 cos 45 and 45 sine 45. The angle is here 45. Yeah. So we have the thing at Y direction will be sine 45. Yeah. Okay. So we solve everything. We get VTA as 28.1, 28.2 I and 31.8 J. So how do you get that? You put all the I's together and you put all the J's together. Yeah. So this I and this I you combine. Okay. And then you your J, you got no friend. Now it's alone. So this I, this J contributes to this 31. Okay. You understand? Put all the I's together, put the J's together. Okay. So to find the magnitude, very easy. Square of 28.2, square of that, and square of this 31. So even though it's negative, it becomes positive. So the resultant will be 42.5. So the magnitude is 42.5. Yeah, but of course you didn't finish answering the question, because it has to be, you have to also give the angle. Yeah, the angle is very important. So take the y, divide by the x, because tangent is actually what? Tangent theta is y over x. Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, the angle, so you must be very careful. Yeah, like the angle in this case it's here, so that's why it's y over x. So in some cases when the angle is in the opposite side, you have to take x over y depending. Okay, now this solution 2 in the textbook is actually using the scalar analysis. I do not recommend you to use scalar analysis. Always use vector. Reason being to reduce your error. Yeah, so this is very important. Okay, with that I've ended chapter 12. So just do the questions that I have assigned, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you.